I am heartened by the fact that we have shown that we can do much more than run fast.
Then all with the on the page, the brother.
No, because you just said that you're disappointed.
Oh my gosh, finally we're at the end of the track and field road because the Olympics will not be over until the 11th. So we do have another day to go. But at the end of the road for us, and it crumbled completely. Just when I thought that our ship was sailing and, you know, we were going to come home in fine style, we were left medalless and did not finish. Almost a do not finish, you know. Did not finish on our final day on the track. But guess what? You're tuned in to another episode of Paris Today. It's the final one, powered by Flow. I'm your host, Trishana McGowan. Back with me, sports reporter from the Jamaica Observer, Daniel Blake.
Hi, Trishana.
Happy to see you. At least you start. You'll finish. And also back is Andre Lowe. He's the man in charge, the sports content manager at Jamaica Observer.
Yeah, happy to be here. Tough day. Almost never come, but we're here. Let's close out in style.
Yeah. Let us do that from our end. Let us start though, Andre. Akira Nugent, out in lane 9. She was one of the athletes, one of the women that could have medaled. The field is that good that I think all 9 stood a chance of possibly getting on the podium. It would have been a tough ask for either because of the quality in the field.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that she did not finish. No fault of hers. What's your view?
Tough one. Certainly Akira would have been on most persons' prediction lists coming into the championships, right? As a potential medalist. And I think that that would have been fair given how her season went and you know her performances and so forth. Tough for her. She got into the final. That's something to applaud. I remember yesterday you saying that she being out in lane 9 might have been, you know, a good thing.
Someone helped, but I also declared my hand and said, "I just go watch sprint hurdles."
Yeah, somehow I think it might have affected her, or did not get the best of starts. And I was checking to see how often she has actually competed out of lane 9.
Okay.
I think I got to last year. I might have seen once or twice. So she's not. It's not a lane that she's accustomed to running in at this level, right? And I'm not saying that's why the race went the way it went, right? She got a bad start, hit that first hurdle, and you know when it comes to the sprint hurdles,
there's no room for error,
time and space for that sort of error. And she was kind of building back some momentum, and then clipped I think hurdle 4 or 5, and you know that was it. Crushing for her. Hopefully she did not sustain an injury. I did see her favoring her, I think left knee or something after the event, and she'll be back, right? I think the favorite or the most deserving lady won. Yeah. Masai has been the most consistent this year, and she wanted that gold medal.
She really did.
Was perfect, right? And it was a high quality field, and we got a high quality race. Very unfortunate for the Jamaican, but she'll be back.
I believe she will be back, and I think Daniel Williams, and even before Daniel Williams, world champion. Twice for us. Yeah. I think with Daniel Williams, you know, the pattern is there in terms of athletes bouncing back, especially in the sprint hurdles. She's a young talent. I think this is now her first year, Daniel, officially like a senior athlete, Akira, that is, and getting to a final. Last year she went to the World Championships. She did not pass the semi-finals. Is that something you think she could take comfort in?
Yeah, still only 22. She's in a field that is probably one of the best that we've seen in an extremely long time. And you know what happened was unfortunate, because once you hit that first hurdle, it sometimes it's really hard to recover, especially in a final where you know that the slightest mistake can cost you. But to come to the Olympics, your very first Olympics, this year she ran sub 12.3 and she looked like a real threat. So I don't think there's any disappointment. What needs to happen now is for her to build on this. There is the World Championships next year. The next Olympics is, sort of far away if you count 4 years far. But she should feel very confident that she was able to make it, because we should also remember that Megan Topper is our only
Olympic medalist
at
in the
the
sprint
Olympics
hurdles.
in the hurdles. So there have been many greats who have tried and have not succeeded. So it's just about trying to, build back, keep that consistency, hoping that she doesn't get any injuries. And, we'll see her again in 2028.
I believe so. 22, so in 4 years' time she'll be 26 years old, thereabout. So the cycle, I hope a lot of the athletes, the youngsters that we saw will matriculate into that. But before we even touch on that, when the 4x, after that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, not another moment for Team Jamaica. But then the 4x400 meters relay, where I had us getting a silver or a bronze, because that took quality field. So then the baton was knocked out of the hand, Anjanette Knight. And I went in complete, like Jamaican, I said, old people mode. Me, I said, Lord have mercy. Not another.
Yeah.
I was highly stressed.
That was a punch to the stomach, right? We got a few punches to our face.
Yeah.
Right throughout this championship, and that was just the punch to the stomach, man. Very disappointed. In retrospect, can't say for certain, with any true conviction that we would have certainly gotten onto the medal podium. Mm-hmm. But for us to crash out in that manner, in the position that we were in, it's really disappointing. I do have some questions, and I don't want
the questions on have can't nobody ask.
I mean,
you know why it can't nobody ask? The baton not even reach down to the third leg or for the race. It don't make sense. You ask the question, man.
Heartbreaking for Anjanette, and I don't want to make this about her, because these things happen in a relay when people are jockeying for positions and at this level. But she would have been one of the most inexperienced on our team in terms of relay running. Yeah. And we did have other women.
But she ran in the heat.
We did have other women on our squad.
I agree with you.
I believe,
and
I would have expected actually to be in this team.
Brought her in,
and perhaps again we have seen many instances where inexperience has cost us positions and medals. And clearly, just looking at the position of the baton in Anjanette's hands, and just her hand being all the way out here to her right. When people are close to you, that's inexperience, right? And it's unfortunate. She will learn from it. She's a gifted athlete, very talented, and I'm pretty sure that as bad as we feel,
she's feeling 10 times worse or more.
So, we credit the effort, and it's just an opportunity for us to learn from.
I agree with you. I think that, many were saying, Daniel, Cherokee Young ran a brilliant third leg in the heats, which contributed to the team, being in the final. And persons were wondering, why not Cherokee or Genevieve Russell ahead of others that we saw. For me, again, like I was just troubling low, we can't even bother get into that because, what's your view? I'm stressed out. Sorry, I'm really stressed out because, like you said, no, because I did not expect that. You remember yesterday I said, I'm going to watch the sprint hurdles and whatever happened. But then I was like, man, we can get a silver or a bronze in the 4x4, and it didn't. But anyhow,
I think your views are of the typical Jamaican. In their eyes, this championship hasn't gone the way they wanted. Yeah. So the 4x4 was supposed to be that sort of a consolation goal. So even if they probably came fourth, let's say the baton went around and they came fourth, it would have been like at least we ended on a relative high, right?
Yeah.
But because the baton drop, it's like, boy, this feels like a button drop for Jamaica in just general.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, she didn't grip the button as well as she should have. But that's life.
Credit too, I think, to Stacey on our first leg.
Brilliant
opener
from her. Really strong run from her.
I think she was clocked at 50.5.
Yeah, she made that thing about the third changeover. US made that first changeover based on the stagger and what I was watching. But like you said,
very interesting championship for her and a very good base for her to build on going into 2025. Very close to her PB. Mm-hmm. Ran a season's best here and gave us some very solid relay legs. So I'm very let's say excited to see how she develops from this going into 2025 under the instructions of Ronaldo Walcott.
Because it's sort of in the air. Knowing it's the final day for our track and field, knowing the thoughts that we've seen on social media and traditional media, starting with you, Trishana, would you view this Olympics as a disappointment for Jamaica?
Lord Jesus, yes. I don't know, a disappointment. And if I'm to say no, I would be lying, and I'm not going to do that. It is a disappointment, and it's not so much as to the results only. I think the fact that we saw Shelley being locked out, then she was not able to run into the semifinals of the women's 100 meters. Then Sharika Jackson pulling out of at this stage. We can't even bother going on the timelines, so the 100 and the 200. Because Lord, big start believe Frana and the things say Sharika go run the 200 meters. Yeah. And I was kept, Stephen Francis, Medic Sketty. Anyhow, Sharika not being able to compete. Then we saw more mishaps for us in terms of where we thought we would have gotten some medals or athletes getting to finals. That did not happen. So for me, I was left disappointed. But then now, before even today, which knocked the wind out of me, the disappointment from me turned into now having to do some introspection based on the team and the age group. So even though I'm disappointed, I'm feeling good as we look to 2025 and years to come, because you have to go through transition. You have to go through the phases. And I want to see growth in our program and not, start scratching our heads as we look to next year and be and say, boy, so who going to be next? I'm not in that position, I think, across a lot of the events. And I do take great comfort in that.
For me, Daniel, I would be lying if I said there wasn't some disappointment, right? Mm-hmm. After all, my projection was 13 medals, right?
I think why you shouldn't do projections.
I think
no,
we're not asking up on no.
More 20 prospects,
right?
Daniel,
But at every championship, you kind of have to budget for mishaps and stuff like that. I think we got more than our due this time. We got too many. From the injuries to the withdrawals, and even before that, the issues with the JOA and the J3s. I mean, so many things to unpack, right? Yeah. Coming out of these championships. But midway there, maybe it was just me accepting the realities, but there was kind of a moment of enlightenment. I say, you know what, Andre, it's not just about medals,
It isn't.
Right? We let us recognize that this is a part of a process, right? Athletes are getting valuable experience. Athletes are performing at great levels. You look at Jaden, for instance, he would have medal at most championships with that distance, right? And also our field eventers, who often do not get the sort of respect that they deserve. They certainly came out and performed
4 of our 6 medals.
4 of our 6 medals. We came into these championships with only 2 from the field events in history.
In the history,
right? And we leave with add 4 to that, right? So that's brilliant stuff. And I would, like many, I was kind of hoping for a nice closure, right? Get us up to 7 or 8 medals, which is just, we got 9 in Tokyo.
It would have been the icing on the cake for us.
It look a little better on paper, right? But disappointed in how we finished, but there are a lot of positives to take away from these championships. And I think that is what should not go
unnoticed
and unnoticed from any conversation concerning Paris 2024, right? Yeah. We have taken quite a few positive steps towards, bringing our program to, a more complete track and field program. It's not just about the sprints. Mm-hmm. We're also seeing now that we're producing world-class
field
performances in the field events. And that is something that we should really, really be proud of. So all in all, I'll say 50-50. Yeah. Ambivalent feelings. I am extremely proud. A little disappointment that some of the issues that we have had for years still continue to haunt us in terms of
coaches on a credit. Make me say
preparation and all these
lot of things. But, AC needed, food needed, stuff like that, right?
Athletes did well.
Yes, they did, considering everything. Daniel, what were the highlights for you, or the disappointments? Since we don't name out the whole...
I mean, for me personally, I don't know if I have any disappointments.
That man wicked, man.
What a wicked...
No, let me...
You're lying.
Let me tell you why. If I asked you if Tokyo 2021 was a success for Jamaica, you'd say yes, right?
I don't think it wasn't a success on our level in terms of what we know we can do.
I know where it's going.
No, me want to hear him say
so for
it.
example, 5 of our medals in Tokyo came in 2 events. So the women's 100 and the men's 110 meter hurdles.
True.
When you look at this year, we got 6 medals in what? 6 different events?
And 6 different individuals.
And when you look at it, it's 4 in the field. Now, to me, I think because we have built a reputation of being a track nation or a sprint nation, we kind of make it seem like, you know, the field is like it's almost sort of I don't know the word to use, like a side piece or a side dish.
But hold on.
But if we got 6 medals in the sprint events, in the women's 100,
everybody would be happy. That's true.
I think that the mood around the team would be far different.
But not just this, so we take it alone.
But if you look at what happened, what was one of the main conversations after 2021 is that our male sprinting is almost dead. We had Kishane Thompson, who lost basically on the line. He got
so what you did if you're not disappointed and you did have 20 prospects?
There were 20 prospects, which is why everybody is disappointed, because everybody had.
So that means you're disappointed too.
I know I'm not disappointed.
I
take
your point, you know. But
that we did have those.
So you're not disappointed,
which
then.
is why you all are disappointed.
Except okay.
I am heartened by the fact that we have shown that we can do much more than run fast.
Then all of the panda page, the brother.
No, because you just said that you're disappointed.
Yeah, but
I
then
can't be disappointed that we have elevated ourselves to be a contender in the field, because remember, not even Chelsea Hammond won a bronze in 2018. She got it this year. So basically, only James Beckford since 1996 was our only field medal.
Yeah, but me hear what you're saying.
I cannot be disappointed that we got 6 medals with 4 coming in the
and
field.
I think that
would be very greedy.
And I think that's fair enough.
And I think that's the point I was making as well, that we tend to place more value on certain medals, and I think that's where we need to mature as a nation, as a people, in terms of track and field fans, right? We need to recognize that being able to score these victories in other, let's call them non-traditional areas, for us is just as important, just as big a deal.
Look like we're going to need another show for deal with both of you, because for him to say that he's not disappointed, we are saying that we're disappointed, but like many Jamaicans, we are grateful for the 6, yes or no?
But you can't tell me that I shouldn't be
disappointed. I never said that. I'm not telling you you should. I'm just saying I find it strange that you aren't.
I'll wait till the last show for fight.
But that's what I'm saying. It almost shouldn't be strange that a country like us got 6 medals with 4 in the field when we have little to no resources put into our field events. I cannot. Maybe I have some slight sadness that I didn't see Shelley run her last race, or Sharika, but there can't be any disappointment for me, because we have a gold medalist in discus throw, in the shot put, in the triple jump, in the long jump.
Gotcha.
I can't be disappointed.
Critical too, very important point I want to bring across too is just the average age of our medalists. I know I touched on it some time ago, but we know it's now 25.6 years old.
Yes, okay.
Compared to 2021 Tokyo, our average age for the individual medalists was 29.3. What does that tell you?
There's the seniority within those athletes.
And we're at a point where we're transitioning, right?
Yeah.
And so some grace must be given to our athletes, as you know, we're in those instances where we see inexperience causing us results and times and placements and so forth. Understand what's happening here, right? We are literally turning a page. And a lot of these athletes who we are seeing competing here and perhaps not getting on the podium or even getting to the finals, right? What they have done here is increase their cachet, right? And expect that whatever they have gained here will be put to use and have tremendous value going forward for them, right? They're gonna be the face of our track and field program in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years and beyond.
I agree with you with that. I think that when you look forward, like I said, next year is another big year, the World Championships in Tokyo. Then the cycle for more World Championships as we look to 2028 Olympic Games. So I am pleased to know that, where we are in terms of these athletes, barring injuries, should become the next best to be challenging. Daniel, your final take on the future for track and field?
I think it's in good hands. Once everyone stays healthy and continues their path of development, because there were some athletes from our national trials who we still believe can become contenders in the future as well. So right now it's for a lot of these athletes to use this experience, to use this as fuel, to show them that, you know, we can get the job done.
Yeah.
Before we go, I said, and it's like how you dolly up today.
The blonde has been a hit, apparently.
I must say, I'm quite impressed by our athletes, you know, our female athletes, and how they're packaged.
Even on social media, on TikTok and so on, you saw persons who were not very familiar with track and field, Americans, etc.
They look good.
They were, you know, acknowledging the women, picking out their top 5 and stuff, and of course our Jamaicans in there, and we have some beautiful women. And guess what, ladies? Man, I'll leave it out. The man can't outdo it. The men do look good as well. So everybody.
Until next time.
But no, overall, to end the conversation, we will bounce back like we always do. It's just in our DNA to bounce back and come again stronger next year. And we will. We will.
Absolutely, without question.
All right, so that's all the time we have for you. We hope you enjoyed Paris today. The episodes have come to an end because the Olympic Games over for Jamaica. So make sure that you leave your comments. We still watch and read them. Yes, we still watch and see what one saying about us. And if you enjoy the episodes or do what you all do best, call, send messages to let us know you are tuned in. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for Flow, because of them, Paris today was possible. And to Creative Factory for hosting us.
Yeah, big up Jason McNeish, big up the entire team.
The team.
Niche Creative Factory. Yeah. You guys are excellent.
Yes, they are. Daniel, thank you so much for joining, being my co-host for the lovely episodes.
I do.
Oh, but you said you studied French for 10 minutes or more than 10 at this point,
5.
Right? 5? Wow. Thank you so much for stepping up as a boss, because of him he put this together as a boss, and you know this
team, one team.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the time we have for you. Until next time.